So let us start our session for today. So in the previous session, we discussed about introduction. So today we are going to see about installation of Golden Gate. So let me share my screen. So in the previous session, we discussed about Golden Gate architecture and Golden Gate installation. So Golden Gate introduction and Golden Gate architecture, like extract, replicate, and extract, data pump, and replicate, which are present in Golden Gate, which aids in replicating the data from source to target site. Now, in today's session, we are going to discuss about how to install Oracle Golden Gate. So installation of Oracle Golden Gate is easy, but you have to keep in mind few things, from where you can download the software and from where you can, and what all things you need to keep in mind related to Golden Gate. So first of all, what you need to do is, before prior to Golden Gate installation, you should check the certification matrix in order to ensure that you download the correct version which is certified with your platform and the database you are going to use. Okay, so you have to ensure that. Once you check the certification matrix, then download the certified Golden Gate version either from OTN if it's available in OTN. Otherwise, check edelivery.oracle.com to check the version which you want to download. After that, once you have downloaded, you can proceed to install. Okay, either you can do silent installation or you can also do GUI installation. So if GUI installation is not, you cannot do GUI installation, then go with silent in that case. So let us now proceed with, first of all, checking the certification matrix. So in our environment, like I have got GGate 1. Okay. So these are the virtual boxes which will be shared with you as well during the training when we do the live training program. So these virtual boxes have database software 19C and Golden Gate 21C. Golden Gate 19C is also there in this. So just in case if you want to practice 19C. So these virtual boxes are pre-cooked virtual boxes which have database already installed. You have to create the database if you need to. Along with that, Golden Gate is already, database is also created, sorry. Database is installed and created. Golden Gate binaries are there, but you need to install it, of course, as a practice. So these virtual boxes are shared with you and pre-cooked. You just have to plug and play on your machine. So your life becomes easier for practice, because I always believe in that if you have to learn something, you have to get your hands dirty in it. So you have to practice. So practice is the mantra for learning any technology, not only Golden Gate, but any technology. You have to spend some time, you have to devote time to learn that technology. Trust me, guys, let me tell you one thing. Learning Golden Gate is one of the easiest technology, I would say, in comparison to everything. Like whatever I have learned, based on that, I'm telling you, whatever technologies I know. So learning Golden Gate is pretty easiest technology. It's just that you need to devote time, you need proper guidance and mentorship. This is what I'm here for. Okay. So what we'll do is we'll note down the so what you need to do is, before you proceed to download and install, before you proceed to install Golden Gate, you need to check the certification matrix. So to check the certification matrix, you need to ensure database version what you have, along with that what platform you have. So if you check uname-a, our platform is Enterprise Linux 7. Okay, so I'll open a notepad quickly. So you need to note down the database name, which in our case is 19C. Database name and version 19C Oracle. Platform is Enterprise Linux 7, Red Hat Enterprise Linux 7. So we are going to download the binaries for this version. So you have to ensure you do it. Okay. Now go to Google. Just on Google, Golden Gate is a Fusion middleware product. So you can type Fusion middleware certification matrix. So you'll get this Fusion middleware supported configuration. On this, you will find certification matrix related to Golden Gate. So open 21C, certification matrix. You can open it. So someone had a question yesterday that what systems are supported or which databases are supported. So you can check the certification matrix to answer that question automatically. So basically, my whole purpose during the training is to make you self-dependent so that you are able to answer the things on your own. You don't have to rely on, like what I have seen many people do is they raise an Oracle SR just for these small things to confirm whether this is supported or not. Guys, each technology, I'm not talking only about Golden Gate. Remember, each technology in this world, whether it is Oracle database, whether it is Informatica, whether it is any other technology, it has a certification matrix. Each version, remember, is not meant to support your platform, your database, or your supported application, whatever you want to connect it to, right? So first of all, you need to ensure that you are checking the certification matrix. Like being a Golden Gate administrator, I'll tell you, like if you download the wrong version, say for example, I'll tell you, these scenarios have occurred to me in front of my eyes. Like what happens is, many people who are hired as a consultant, okay, so what they do is they download the incorrect Golden Gate version, which what happens is, in that scenario, what happens is the time and effort both are wasted. Along with that, it doesn't impress your client as well. See, if you are a fresher, it's okay, like one or two mistakes if you make, it is accepted. But if you are being hired as a consultant, if you're the sole responsible for that technology, Spock, I should say, in that case, it is my feeling, or what I have noticed is, you have to be first time right. And for reaching that level, you need to follow correct steps. That is really needed. Okay, so that's the thing. So always ensure you should check the certification matrix. Go to this Golden Gate. Now here, it's on your platform and version, select. So our server is Linux x86 64. So this Golden Gate 21C supports these many platforms. Our OS version is Enterprise Linux 7, right? So I'll select RHEL 7 here. So based on this, I'll select RHEL 7 and 8, 10. Okay, this one. And our database is Oracle. Where do I see Oracle? Okay, product family. Select Oracle Golden Gate for Oracle. So you can check from this certification matrix, this Golden Gate 21C supports these many databases. Now, suppose you find that this version 21C does not support your database or your platform, or the version which is being mentioned, then go to a previous version Golden Gate, and that you can see which is supported. So I'll select Oracle Golden Gate for Oracle here. Okay. So now here you will see that Oracle Golden Gate, the version which we are, so our version is 19C, Oracle Database 19C, right? Okay, this is Amazon RDS for Oracle. No, we are not looking for this. We are only looking for Oracle database. So basically 21.3.0, you see, 21.3.0.0 supports RHEL 7. On that, it supports Oracle database 11.204, 12.1.02, 19C, 21C. And both architecture, classic and microservices, both are supported. So we are good. We can download this 21.3, which is the latest version. Once you have identified from the certification matrix which version you have downloaded, which version you have, which version you want to go with. So go to OTN, go to your, you can Google or you can go to support.oracle.com. Over there you can find. So I'll do download Golden Gate 21C. So go to Oracle Golden Gate download. Here you will find different binaries here, like 21.3 for Oracle microservices. So microservices binaries, we are going to download classic. So you can download classic binaries from here. So the one which doesn't say anything, that means it's classic binary. Similarly, the thing is Oracle Golden Gate binaries, just like database as well, they are different for each platform. Like for Windows, you will find different binaries. For Sun Solar, you will find different binaries. For AIX platform, you will find different binaries. For Windows platform, you will find different binaries. Similarly, for each database as well, you will find different binaries. Like for Oracle, there will be different binaries. And for SQL Server, you will find different binaries. So each database is going to have its own binaries as well. So based on your requirement, what requirement you have, you can download the binaries as per your business requirement. Okay. So as I mentioned, like whatever binary you want to download, you can. So I'll download this 21.3.0.0 for Oracle. You can click on it. Once you click it, it will ask you to sign in. After signing in, it will download and you can transfer it to your server. So in our case, the binaries are already downloaded and present on the server. Okay. Binaries are already downloaded and present on the server. If you see, so the location is /home/Oracle/softwares. Here you can find your binaries. So CD softwares. Here you can find binaries related to classic. 2019C is there, 21C is there, microservices binary is there, Veridata is there. So Veridata 12.2.1 is there, 12.2.1.4 is there. So both are there. Okay, go to softwares. Now here you will find the binaries. Go to OGG Classic. So I'm going to install 21C, which is the latest version. So go there, and here you will find this zipped file. When you download, it comes in zip format. Okay, when you unzip it, it gets unzipped into these three. Okay, so this is already unzipped. So I'll go to unzip. Okay, after unzipping, okay, you can go to disk 1. Here you can run your run installer. So set the display, and for doing the GI installation, you need to set the display and then run the installer. So after running the installer, your OUI will open. Okay, now this is the advantage in Golden Gate 21C. Prior to 21C, so Golden Gate 21C has a unified build. What does unified build means is, when installing Golden Gate 21C, you won't be no longer prompted to select the database version for which you are going to install Oracle Golden Gate 21C. So Oracle Golden Gate 21C has Oracle database unified build support. What that means is, if you have installed Golden Gate in 19C, what used to happen, 19C or prior version, what used to happen was, when installing Oracle Golden Gate, you were prompted to select the database version for which you are going to install Oracle Golden Gate. So prior to 21C, you had to select the database, like you had to select whether it is 19C, 18C, 12C or 11G. The reason being, when you try to invoke Golden Gate, Golden Gate binaries are linked with database binaries. And each database binaries are different. Like 19C binaries are lib19C, for example, but 12C binaries are lib12C. So Golden Gate binaries are database libraries libraries. So if suppose you select the wrong database version over here, in that case, what is going to happen is your Golden Gate will not run. You must have seen in your environment or organizations as well, if you're working, that when Golden Gate is when database is upgraded, say for example, if you're using Golden Gate version 19C or earlier, and if your database is upgraded, say for example, from 11G to 12C or any other version, you have to reinstall Oracle Golden Gate. So that is basically reconfiguration is needed in that case. Or suppose only your database version is getting upgraded. Again, you have to do Golden Gate configuration again. The reason being, because your linked binaries to Golden Gate are changing, hence you will need to do reset up reconfiguration, right? But in 21C, the advantage is the binaries are auto present. So basically, you don't have to select for which database you want to use this Golden Gate 21C for. You can use this for any supported database. And when the database is upgraded from one version to another version, you don't have to do anything. So Oracle Golden Gate 21C has Oracle Database Unified Build support. So this is one of the important feature which has been introduced from Oracle Golden Gate 21C onwards, which wasn't there. That was one of the, I should say, like one of the feature missing in Golden Gate, which they have introduced now. Okay. So now we'll go ahead and select this option. So select the database for the Oracle Golden Gate installation. So you will do Oracle Golden Gate for Oracle Database 21C. Select next. Okay, now you have to provide the software location. So basically the software location is the location where you will be installing Oracle Golden Gate. So this is going to be the Golden Gate installation directory. So you can install Golden Gate anywhere, like you can install Golden Gate in separate mount point or existing mount point, wherever you want to install. Okay, just ensure you have sufficient space in that mount point, because for storing the trail files, you will need the space. So I'll select /data app Oracle product. Here I'll add OGG_classic_demo. So under this directory, the Golden Gate will be installed. Along with that, it requires a manager. So what happens is, you saw the architecture in the previous session, right? So there are three processes involved in Golden Gate replication: capture, pump, and delivery. So extract process extracts the data, writes to local trail. Pump process reads the data from local trail and writes it to remote trail, and then the replicate process applies it to target database. Right now, from what happens now in this scenario is, you have got these are all the Golden Gate components, I should say. On top of it, there is one more process which is called as manager process. So manager process manages the Oracle Golden Gate environment for you. So all these processes or components, I should say, are managed by Oracle Golden Gate manager process. So manager process, as the name suggests, it should be running, and it manages all its components, which include extract, pump, replicate, local trail, and remote trail. Remember one thing, each Golden Gate instance has one and only one manager process. It has one and only one manager process. Okay. So this is how your, so here what you need to do is you need to provide the manager port. So the thing is, what happens is when you install Golden Gate, you need to provide the manager port on which manager process should be running. So remember that port should be open and nothing else should be running on that. Nothing else should be running on that. Only that means this port number can be anything. By default, it selects port number 7809, but you can select any port. There is no restriction, but you just have to ensure that that port is empty and nothing else is running. And also, if there are any firewall rules in place, you have to ensure that firewalls are open. Click on next. Now it says manager port is already in use because I'm running multiple instances. So I'll change the port. I can use, say, for example, 8080. Okay, click on next. So the manager will run on port 8080. Now, after you have done that, you can check the details. If you have any issues, you can edit, or you can save it in response file as well. Say, for example, I'll save it in /home/Oracle /OGG-core.rsp. Save it. So what will happen? Say, for example, you are not allowed to do GUI installation on production. From dev, you can copy this file, use the parameters you have used, and use it in prod deployment. Okay. Now, once you have done that, click on install. So Golden Gate 21C installation is in progress. Installation doesn't take much time. Installation doesn't take much time. Within a couple of minutes, it should be done. So I'll take few questions while this is happening. So is it possible to share the slide also? So with the training, you will get the required documents. Those will be provided to you. Is it possible to get the digital certificate of this training? Yes, once you complete the training, full training course, yes, you can request for the course completion certificate. Now, Umesh has a question. GG binaries on same server where DB instance is running, right? So Golden Gate, you can install Golden Gate on the same server where database is installed, or you can choose an intermediate server. You must have heard about Golden Gate Hub. So you can you can host your Golden Gate binaries on the intermediate server. It's possible. So on intermediate server as well, you will get the binaries. You can install Golden Gate on intermediate server as well. So there's a question. I missed day one session. How can I get the recording? So if you want to access the recording of the session, what you need to do is the team is posting the link. You need to get yourself registered, fill that form out, and you will get the recording video. Okay. Majid is asking, can we install Golden Gate on 2 nodes of rack? So Golden Gate works on rack. So when you install Golden Gate on rack, how do you do it? You either install Golden Gate on shared location, or you can you need to install Golden Gate on individual nodes. You can install Golden Gate on individual nodes, and then Golden Gate but runs only from one single node. It doesn't run from both. Okay. So when will I be added to the WhatsApp group? I haven't been added. So once you join the training, you'll be added to the WhatsApp group as well. Okay. Okay. So now the installation of Golden Gate, if you see, is successful. You saw how much time it took? Less than, I should say, 1 minute or maybe 1 minute. So installation is successful of Oracle Golden Gate. Okay. Now what we'll do is we'll go to the location where we have installed our Golden Gate environment. So if you want to check the logs of this installation, you can go to this location and check the log. Now I'll go to /data app Oracle product OGG_classic_demo. Okay, here you will find Golden Gate binaries are installed over here. You see Golden Gate binaries. Now how to log into your command prompt of Golden Gate? Does anyone know about that? How can we log into command prompt of Golden Gate? I discussed in the previous session. �GGSCI, exactly. So there is a question, how can we convert character conversion in Golden Gate? There are few steps which you need to follow. We'll be discussing that in the training as well. This is like we are still on installation right now. So once we move forward, we'll be discussing during our training part. Okay. So now to log into Golden Gate, you need to do �GGSCI. �GGSCI stands for Golden Gate Software Command Line Interface. So when you go to �GGSCI, first step is you run the command info all. Info all is the command which lists all the processes running in your Golden Gate environment, Golden Gate instance. So when you log into Golden Gate, there is only one manager which is present. So how is this manager running? Did I start this manager? How is this manager process running then? Can anyone tell me? Any idea? Default, no. Installer will run, but why installer will run? During the installation, why it got run then? Okay, I agree, it's correct. We all know that, right? That's the obvious answer, that during the installation, because we haven't done anything. But how come it is running then? Anyone? No, my question is not what this manager will do by running. My question is, even though I didn't start the manager, still the manager process is running. How? So Arul Prakash is right. During the installation, I ticked the box start manager, right? So what happened was, hence the manager process is running. Suppose if I uncheck that box, in that case, it will not start. Okay. Okay, you have both the options. Whatever option you want to choose, you have both the options. Okay. Now, so your Golden Gate processes, sorry, manager processes running. So now in Golden Gate directory, Golden Gate installation location, you can find there are different directories which helps in Golden Gate replication. Like you have got dir WLT, dir SQL, dir SCA, dir PRM, dir PCS, dir out, dir ETC, dir TMP, then dir DMP, dir def. So all these processes, dir CRD, dir CHK, dir dat, dir def, all these directories are there, right? So each directory has its own work. Like some of the directories are there for the security purpose. Some are there to store the report files. Some are there to ensure transactional integrity in Golden Gate environment. Some are there to store the trail files. So like you see dir WLT, and so dir WLT stands for wallet directory. dir CRD stands for credential store directory. So it stores the credential store in Golden Gate environment, like security purpose. Then dir RPT stores the report file of each process. So whatever process you configure, each process has a report file associated to it. So it holds the report file. dir PRM holds the parameter file of Golden Gate. So parameter files in Golden Gate are the most critical files. So each process in Golden Gate has a parameter file associated to it. I always compare parameter file of Golden Gate to control file in database. What control file is to database, parameter file is to Oracle Golden Gate. Without parameter file, none of our process will run. So dir PRM stores parameter file. Then dir PCS stores the process status. dir def stores the data definition file. dir dat stores trail files in Golden Gate. dir 𝐶HK stores the checkpoint files. So checkpoint files are needed to ensure the data integrity in your Golden Gate environment. So whatever data integrity you need to maintain, like Golden Gate ensures zero data loss in your environment. How does it ensure? So I have a question for you. Say for example, on Friday evening, you were in office until 9 a.m. Everything was fine. It's a non-critical environment, so there are no alerts set up. But until 9 a.m. everything was fine. Now, when you left the office around 10 p.m., Golden Gate process went down. Okay. Now it was weekend, no one was there to look into it. Monday morning, when you came around 9 a.m., you identified the reason, you resolved the issue and started the Golden Gate process. So from what time Golden Gate will start processing the data from when you start the process on Monday 10 a.m.? Will it start processing the data from Monday 10 a.m., sorry, Monday 9 a.m. or Friday 10 p.m.? What do you think? So I'm getting the answers Friday 10 p.m. Absolutely correct. So you have to ensure zero data loss in Golden Gate environment. See, Golden Gate deals with data. Each means wherever Golden Gate is installed, data word is related to it. That means data, and data is really very critical for any organization. So if data leak happens, or if data mismatch happens, or if data integrity is compromised, you understand how much issue it will have. Suppose, for example, you deposited $10,000 into your bank. You have $10,000 as an amount in your bank account. Now you went to branch and you deposited $1,000. The updated balance should be $11,000. But before it could be reflected into the database, your database crashed out, right? So, but you have already deposited the money, but only thing is database is not reflecting due to database crash. So during recovery, if your $1,000, if it doesn't show your updated balance, do you understand how will you feel? Like there will be a lot of chaos. So data is everything for an organization. I was just giving you an analogy related to the database. Or you might be hearing this term that data leak is happening, like that customers' personal information, critical information has been leaked by few companies. So this we hear every day, right? So data is everything. Data is in this world right now. If you talk to any organization, the first term they will say is data. Data is the most precious term in current scenario for any organization, because with data you can do everything. Like say for example, if your email ID or phone number is leaked to, say for example, stock market trading company, what they can do is they can reach out to 100,000 people. Once they reach out to 100,000 people, they got the leads, and then they can convert that, right? So data is everything. So Golden Gate ensures all these checks because it deals with data. It ensures that your data which is getting dealt with, it is secured, and there is zero data loss in your environment. There is no transactional integrity which is being compromised with. And so this is why, like, Golden Gate is the most preferred technology. Like, I'll tell you one thing. There are competitors of Golden Gate, right? Now, Why Golden Gate? There is a question. Why organization should choose Golden Gate? Why Golden Gate scores above its competitors? The reason being, there are two things. Each technology depends on two things. First is lag and second is data integrity. So lag is the time difference between which the record gets committed on source and it gets applied on target. That is called as lag. So say for example, you committed a record on source database at 9 a.m. and it got applied at 9:05. So that time difference of 5 minutes is called as lag. And data integrity means whatever data you want to replicate, that should be replicated without any loss. With zero data loss, the data should be replicated. So data integrity should be maintained, right? So Golden Gate, so the tool which can ensure data integrity maintaining minimum lag is the best tool available in the market. The tool which can replicate the data with minimum lag, maintaining the data integrity is the best tool. So Golden Gate scores above its competitors in both these aspects, lag and data integrity. How it does, how can you reduce the lag, what all things you need to keep in mind related to data integrity, how it does that, we'll be discussing during the training program in detail as well. Okay. So all these directories, whatever you see, like dir, chk, crd, or dat, or dir, prm, dir, rpd, all these aids in achieving the requirement we have related to performance, related to data integrity, related to security. All these files, all these directories help us in achieving this. Okay, so to log into Golden Gate, there is ggSCI. Now, along with that, in your environment. So ggSCRR.log has all the information. So if I open ggSCRR. See, we haven't done much so far, but here, whatever has been done, you will see everything over here. Like internally, when we installed Golden Gate, it started the Golden Gate with obey command. It created sub DIRs, it started the manager. Then manager was started at this time at 18:30. Then we ran the command at this particular time. So whatever you do in Golden Gate environment will be stored in ggSCRR.log file for you. Okay, so I'll close it. So this ggSCRR.log is used for troubleshooting purpose. Their report file. So we'll be discussing about in detail about troubleshooting, performance tuning. All these things are covered in detail as well, along with configuration, designing. So when you have to install Golden Gate in an organization, like I'll tell you, being a Golden Gate administrator, what are your tasks? I'll tell you based on my experience. The reason being, again, there are not many Golden Gate administrators available in the market, and also there are not many people who have expertise, even though they might have some knowledge, but still the deep dive knowledge still not there. So what happens is when you are hired as a Golden, and this is what I'm telling you as per my experience and as per my knowledge as well. So you will be asked to design Golden Gate. You will be asked to prepare the documentation. You will be asked to start from scratch, like setting up the server, providing the initial requirement, what do you need related to Golden Gate, then preparing the database for Golden Gate. You will need that. And then along with that, how do you set up Golden Gate? Then how do you transition the knowledge? So say, for example, if you're working in the organization like on a full-time basis, then it's okay. But if you're working as a consultant, another important thing is how do you prepare the documents? Documentation part is really very important to pass on the knowledge to the in-house employees, full-time employees, I should say. Okay. And then along with that, you will be required to provide troubleshooting. You will be required to do the troubleshooting, performance tuning. All these things are your tasks. So you have a lot on plate. Like, of course, I would not say, like I told you in the previous session, right? Being a Golden Gate administrator, you're expected to earn more. But when you are earning more, definitely there are more responsibilities on you and more tasks on you. Of course, you have to justify your salary, right? Or organization has to get your salary justified, I should say. So for that reason, you will have to do this work. And it's not like they're not looking for people. It's just that there are not many people available with Golden Gate knowledge, and that's why it still becomes niche. Like I'll talk about 2017. When I compare 2017 to 2023, yes, I see increase in Golden Gate administrators a lot. But another important thing which we need to notice is that now, or in 2017, because of license costs, organizations were susceptible to use Golden Gate. They were like, they can use some other technology or they can use data guard. But now with all these webinars, with all these Oracle presentations, Oracle has understood the importance of Golden Gate now, and they are now using Golden Gate for most of the projects. So the need for Golden Gate administrators has increased almost 10 times now, but the number of Golden Gate administrators which are there in the market has not increased proportionally. So that's why still Golden Gate is still in huge demand right now. So so here you can do ggserr.log. Now along with that, so you configure all the Golden Gate processes in classic architecture from ggSCI. So how do you add the extract process? Say for example, you have to add the extract process. You can do add extract name and integrated tran log begin now. So that will add your extract process. Now prior to that, you need to do a lot of steps. What we need to do to basically preparing the database, logging onto database, but I'm just letting you know how do you add. But in microservices now, because we have microservices as well, I'll show you how do you do in microservices. So I'll log into microservices. So in classic architecture, everything is done via command prompt. Now in microservices, what happens is, how do I move this? Okay. So this is microservices console, what you see. Okay. So we are logging on to the administration service, which is present in microservices. Now under microservices administration server, you will be getting the prompt to create the extract process. So if you want to add the extract process, you can add it from here. Like click on plus sign, add it here, then select what type of extract you want to create, like integrated or initial load. If you select integrated, click on next, and then follow the prompt. Like you need to provide the process name, trail name, subdirectory, everything you can provide over here. And once you click on next, which we aren't allowed right now because we haven't filled out the required information, then you need to create the parameter file over here. Now once you configure the process, okay, you will find it present over here on the screen. Now once it's present, it will create the trail file. So under distribution server, you will add the distribution path. Okay, and then on ggate 2, if you have like separate Golden Gate instance for target, over there under administration server, you will create the replicate process over there in microservices. So the concept is same, but the way you do in classic and microservices, the installation, the concept wise, it is different. But apart from that, you can do that. Okay. Now there is a question from Majid that what is the reason for frequent lags? So frequent lag can come due to any reason. Like there can be configuration issue, designing issue. So I'll tell you one thing. What I have noticed being a Golden Gate administrator, what people do is they spend 90% of time in implementation and 0 to 10% time in designing. So what happens is, suppose you are given a task that is really very important, and this is what you will learn in the training as well, like how to move step by step for setting up the Golden Gate environment. What I have seen people doing is, say for example, client comes to you, he gives you the requirement that we need to replicate 100 tables in the environment. These are the 100. So being so this is where your experience and inexperience will show. You won't ask questions, you will just ask the table names. What table names we want to do, under which schema they are present, and then you will just create the Golden Gate process and add it into Golden Gate replication. So what you did is you spent your 100% of time in implementation. And because of this, what you are going to do is you will spend now multiple hours. You won't count now in troubleshooting. Now I'll tell you the easiest way. What you need to do is you need to analyze the database. Do the research and analysis is really very important. This research and analysis is a pre-task which might take 1 day, which might take 2 hours, which might take 10 hours. I'm not defining the hours. It depends on the workload, amount of work which is given to you. But it will save you 1,000 future hours. How? I'll tell you. You need to do proper research and analysis, identifying how many tables, how much data basically you want to replicate. Based on that, you need to identify how much data generation would happen. So now you will have to classify all the tables. Like say, for example, you have those 100 tables. Classify those 100 tables into separate lists. Like those are so when you're replicating the tables in your environment, not each table is critical, right? Now, critical table means that critical tables should have minimum lag, like which can experience the lag of 5 seconds or 8 seconds. So each environment, when you are replicating, there are some critical tables, there are some non-critical tables. Now, non-critical tables can experience the lag of, say, for example, 5 minutes or 10 minutes. So you don't want that. Because of non-critical tables, the lag is coming into critical tables. So what you can do is you need to segregate your critical tables and non-critical tables. Along with that, you also need to segregate your high transaction tables and low transaction tables. Because if you keep, say, for example, you have a low transaction critical table, and if you have a high transaction non-critical table, because of that, what it will do is it will bring the lag into the low transaction critical table. So what you need to do is you need to segregate the tables: high transaction, low transaction, critical, non-critical tables. Also, the primary key, unique key tables need to be kept in same process. Otherwise, again, it is going to create a issue for you. Golden Gate process is going to get abandoned. So designing and research is very important in this scenario. So what happens is, by spending 2 hours, 3 hours, 10 hours initially, you have saved your almost 1,000 hours afterwards. Along with that, it provides better impression of you in front of the client, and you can spend that time in different things. So as I mentioned, this lag has endless reason. The primary reason is not spending any time in designing. I again repeat one thing, and I repeat it. I must have repeat. You watch my other webinars as well. I repeat it every time. Spend 80% of time in designing, 20% of time in implementation. I assure you, you won't have any issues related to performance in Golden Gate in future. But if you do vice versa, 20% of time in designing and 80% of time in implementation, then trust me, you will spend loads and loads and loads of time in identifying the reason related to issues in your environment. But we'll be discussing again more on this due to time constraint. There are few things which you need to check related to technical wise. We'll be discussing that as well, apart from designing. Okay. Now there is a question from Rahul: is the data present encrypted on the network? Yes, you can encrypt the data. So you have the option of encrypting the data over the network which is being sent over TCP/IP network. So we can achieve it. So this is really very important. This is one of the major security feature in Golden Gate. Okay, for 19C DB replication, classic GG21C or microservices 21C is better. Both are, there is no, like, you cannot, both have same type of performance. So you cannot, whatever suits you, whatever you're comfortable with, you should choose that. Only you, what you can decide is like future is microservices. Like say for example, after 21C, you will have to upgrade, say for example, to 23C. So definitely it will be microservices. If so, in that way, if you have to choose, go with microservices, because anyways you will have to upgrade in future. But yes, if you're comfortable with classic, so performance wise, it's not, both will have same type of performance. See, performance, Oracle claims it's near real time. It's Oracle claims it to be real time replication too, right? But being a human, it depends on the configuration, right? So it depends on your configuration. Again, I repeat, better becomes, you can make a product better. This product is best only if, as I mentioned, you spend your time in proper designing and research. If you spend time in implementation only, you will have loads and loads of issues. Okay. Okay. So let us now discuss about different options to install Golden Gate. So different options to install Golden Gate includes, so say for example, you can do local capture or and local apply. So what does local capture and local apply means? So local capture means, you install Golden Gate on same server as DB server. So when the extract process is present on same server as the database server, source database server, this is called as local capture. So extract is present / installed on same server as source database server. Local apply means replicate is present installed on same server as target DB server. So it is called as local capture or local apply. And similarly, remote capture, remote apply means the replicate is present installed on same server as the target database server, and remote apply means the replicate is present installed on same server as the remote server as the target database server. So you can install Golden Gate on remote server as well. So you can do basically different types of installation. Like you can install Golden Gate on same server. So when you install Golden Gate on same server, it provides you best performance because no network is involved in this. Now, if you can install Golden Gate on intermediate server, right? It is better for performance. So you must have heard the term Golden Gate Hub as well. You must have heard the term Golden Gate Hub. So what Golden Gate Hub means is your source and target databases, they reside on the same server. So sorry, your Golden Gate resides on the different server. So what happens in this scenario is, say for example, so first scenario is, say for example, you have got 100 databases. So the disadvantage of using Golden Gate on local server is on same server as database server is you will have 100 Golden Gate installation. So managing Golden Gate becomes tedious. Golden Gate Hub means, say for example, you have got 100 databases in your environment on 100 different servers. So what you have to do, you select one intermediate server where you install Golden Gate, and from there you can run Golden Gate, and it becomes better. It becomes better maintenance, not better performance, better maintenance, because you have to maintain Golden Gate from only one installation environment. Okay. Now Umesh has a question: need separate storage for GG? Of course you need. In the same server or wherever, even if you are installing Golden Gate on intermediate server, you need a separate storage for Golden Gate, because it generates the trail file, and to write the data to the trail file, it consumes the space in your operating system. Okay, so these are different types of extracts and replicates you have, which we had discussed. You can do silent installation of Golden Gate using the response file. Suppose if you don't have GUI, you can do the silent installation as well. Now Golden Gate 21C is the latest version available in the market. So what are 21C new features? So 21C is basically extension of 19C. So whatever is present in 19C, on top of that you have got 21C. So 21C is available for microservices of architecture for databases other than Oracle, as we discussed yesterday. Oracle database has unified build support, which we had already seen. Then automatic extract of tables with supplemental logging is supported. So you automatically, as soon as you enable the supplemental logging, you can enable the automatic extract of tables as well in 21C. But for that, you need to have database 21C as well. Then Golden Gate has bidirectional conflict detection and resolution. So enhanced automatic CDR support is there. That autonomous database extract is supported, right? So you have Oracle autonomous database. So until now, extract wasn't supported, only replicate was supported until now, until 19C, I should say. Now from 21C, Oracle has introduced autonomous database extract support. So you can extract the data as well from autonomous database. Prior to that, you could have only replicated. You could not have extracted, but now autonomous database extract is supported as well. Large DDL replication is supported. DB unique name with heartbeat table. Now enhanced integrated replicate and parallel replicate report. So now the parallel replicate, this is again enhancement to the existing feature. Once you learn, you will understand this. Parallel replicate support for heterogeneous databases. So now until 19C, parallel replicate was available only for Oracle database. But now you can configure parallel replicate in SQL Server, DB2 and MySQL database as well. Okay, so the training include these 3 courses: Oracle Golden Gate Classic, Microservices, and Veridata. You can access the course. Team will share the course detail. So there are few of the feedbacks you can find related to the training as well. Like there are a lot of good feedbacks which you can find. So you can see, hi Ashish, the OGG training sessions are more than good and so informative. I just have to put in more time to practice. The training is so timely and helpful to my job. I can rate 80% knowledge gain after attending your session. I'm confident to manage a Golden Gate environment with minimum backup support. You can read many testimonials are there. You can go through that. So with the course, you have 1 year unlimited retakes. So means that you can join any session for next 1 year, unlimited number of times for the next 1 year. So the sessions are conducted like 4 times of classic architecture, 3 times for microservices, 2 times for Veridata a year. So you can join any session for next 1 year, any number of times. You have access to the recorded sessions as well. You will have step-by-step activity guide. So with the training, whatever we do, as everything is practical. So you will receive step-by-step activity guide for implementation, one-on-one doubt clearing session. If you have any doubts, job support for lifetime. So you have lifetime on job support. So any technical issues related to Golden Gate you're facing, you will have lifetime on job support. You will have lifetime WhatsApp support. So you'll be part of elite training WhatsApp group where you can post your question queries, answer other people question queries. So you will have lifetime WhatsApp support as well. And you will receive lab setup kit for practice. So the virtual boxes which I was sharing with you, you will receive those as well with the training. So those virtual boxes comes with database software 19C and Golden Gate 21C. So these sessions are conducted regularly. The training is completely practical. So the training content which I have prepared, it is based on my experience. Like I have implemented Golden Gate in more than 900 projects so far. So I have prepared the training content in such a way what you will expect in your environment. So all the sessions are practical. Training is interview and job oriented. And the sessions will pave the path towards making you Golden Gate expert. At the end of the session, I assure you will be able to set up, manage, troubleshoot, configure Golden Gate on your own, as well as able to provide solution related to Golden Gate on your own. I will ask one thing from you is whatever we are doing, implement it practically. Like if you can take out 1 hour a day for next 30 days once we start the course, I assure you, like today, if you rate yourself 1 on scale of 1 to 5 on Oracle Golden Gate knowledge, I can assure you, you will rate yourself 4 or around that after 30 days. What I will want is I will want 1 hour a day from you for practical purpose, and rest you will be getting. Okay. So the estimated duration is like classic architecture is 20 to 24 hours, microservices is 12 to 15 hours, and Veridata is 10 to 12 hours. Any question if you have? So when will I be added to the WhatsApp group? So the WhatsApp group, you will be, guys, is voice audible? Okay, sorry for that. Okay, so what I was saying is with that training, you will be having, so the question is when will I get the WhatsApp support? So once the training starts, contact the team, you'll be added to the group, training enroll WhatsApp group. There is a separate group, like not the one which you are part of or which you may be part of, but there is training enroll students WhatsApp group, which will be part of. There only Golden Gate related knowledge, no advertisement, nothing is there. Only technical discussion related to Golden Gate are there. And the training students which I have, they are OCMs as well, like Oracle certified masters who are my students as well. They are learning Golden Gate. Okay. So duration is 10 to 12. So I'll tell you, duration is 23 to 25. I'll type here. Duration is 23 to 25 hours for classic, 12 to 15 hours for microservices, 10 to 12 hours for Veridata. Okay, the timing of the session will be Monday to Thursday, 9:30 to 10:30 p.m. EST, 8:30 to 9:30 p.m. CST, 6:30 to 7 p.m. PST Pacific time, and Indian timing would be Tuesday to Friday, 7 to 8 a.m. IST. It will be. So in morning. So Saurabh has a question. I'm not totally confident in Oracle, but want to join. Is it beneficial for me? So Saurabh, it depends on your interest. So what you want to do. Now, if you want to, I'm not sure what your background right now is, but it depends on what you want to do in future. Like if your focus is to stay relevant in your technology, and if you're looking 10 years down the line and looking for better pay, then definitely this is good. Now if your focus is on something else, like if your focus is not on this like growing, then it might not be beneficial. So if you're looking for growth, first thing, and if you're looking for better pay, then it's beneficial. But I'm not sure what you are doing right now, so I cannot comment on that. Okay. So Rahul has a question, what different modes? So what happens is these batches are conducted alternatively on weekends and weekdays. So the new batch which we'll start will be weekday batch, and the weekend batch is conducted it's conducted every Saturday, and the timing is 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. IST, but that would be the next batch, not the upcoming batch. Okay, so Saurabh, if you are working as a junior DBA, trust me, this golden gate. So junior means I believe you might be having less than 2 or 3 years experience, maybe. So in that case, yes, this will be very much beneficial. Like this will be. I have students who have who started with me like 1 or 3 years experience, and now they had, you won't believe, they started like initial package of TCS or Infosys, which they start, and now their package has increased almost 6 times because of this. Yeah, weekend batch is conducted only on Saturdays. Apart from that, all the sessions are recorded and it is shared with you as well. Okay, so Rahul has a question, what is other mode? So you can, so okay, so what happens is you get the unedited recording shared. So whatever we do in the class, you will get the unedited recording. So suppose you were unable to join the session due to some reason, or you want to revise the session, so you will get the session recording. We generally try to process it within 2 to 3 hours. But if God forbidden, like some issue happens, like if Zoom is not available or GoToMeeting, whatever we are using, there might be some issue. So it might take 24 hours. Okay, so weekend is 3 hours, but upcoming batch is going to be weekday, guys. And you can anytime start with your learning, and as soon as you start your learning, you will be fine.
Hello. Hello
Weekend
everyone.
only on Saturdays, and there is a question. We are not a DBA yet. Will still this be good? So I'll tell you, until 2018 or 19, there was a conception that only organizations, I answered this yesterday as well. Organizations were looking for DBA having Golden Gate knowledge. But now the scenario has changed. Organizations are looking for people specifically having Golden Gate knowledge. The responsibilities have been segregated. Now you will, by Mohammed, you will get the training content or training documents, as I mentioned. With that, you will be getting it once you enroll for the training. Someone wanted to talk something? Anyone? So Majid, on weekend it is 3 hours. When will we weekend batch? We are not sure. Maybe we haven't scheduled yet, but maybe you can target September or October. What are the laptop specifications? You can use, like, for these VMs, you can use around 16 GB of RAM if you have, and 200 to 250 GB of hard disk. If you have less than that, then we have a workaround. This session is daily or on weekends only. See, I have posted the timing. So if you are in India, it is Tuesday to Friday, 7 to 8 a.m. IST. Tuesday to Friday, 7 to 8 a.m. IST. And if you are in US, Canada, or some other in these time zones, Eastern, Central, or Pacific, it's Monday to Thursday evening time. And as per India, it is Tuesday to Friday, Indian timing morning. Yes, Saurabh, you want to talk about something? Okay. And for getting the recording of these sessions, these two sessions, what we have done, fill out the form, Google form, which is mentioned in the chat link. I'll also post it into the screen in front of you. So fill out this form, you will get, and also join the WhatsApp group. Like this is the webinar WhatsApp group. So for when you enroll for the training, it is a different WhatsApp. So we are starting the training by end of this month or first week of June. We'll be starting. Okay. So the duration of classic architecture is around 4 to 5 weeks. Microservices is 3 weeks and Validata is 2 weeks. Yeah, so we'll be starting last week of May or first week of June. Probably first week of June. Will be starting because last week of May it's going to be Memorial Day in US, so that's why I'm not targeting that. Like earlier plan was last week of June, but now it will be first week of. So last week of May, but now it will be first week of June. So you can target around 15 to 20 days from now. Yes, Tirupati, end of the month. I'm talking about March. So you can always contact for any details. You can always contact this Learnomate technology as we mentioned in the chat. You can also join their WhatsApp group as well.
Hello everyone, myself Harish. I am an educational counselor at Learnomate Technology. You can call me on that 7757062955 number regarding course duration, course fees, and syllabus. We will connect with him. Okay, you can WhatsApp me also. Okay, I will share you the PDF format regarding or a Golden Gate syllabus and duration of all the things. Okay.
Okay, so guys, thank you very much for joining these 2 sessions. If you have any issues, questions, you can always reach out to the team. So Saurabh, contact the team at this number, what is mentioned to you, and they will give you the correct guidance. I hope this training was useful, guys. These 2 days, if you have any feedback, I would love to take the feedback. I hope you were able to follow. This gives you good insights into the learning, what is Golden Gate, how to install Golden Gate as well. I hope. Guys, please mute yourself if you're not speaking. Let us respect everyone.